if you would have to start over again and I give you a new account, what would your strategy look like? Because I think most people probably listening either don't have YouTube strategy yet, or they've just been doing it the wrong way. Okay. So
Yeah.
what would the step-by-step strategy be to get started, and then maybe shift different ways depending on what your strategy looks like?
So at the beginning, of course, I mentioned like I didn't know, the formula for retaining people throughout the video. I didn't know how to put calls to action. And then I also had learned more along the way of how to title my videos, because you can spend the time making a video and your content could be great, but if people aren't finding it, then you're not leading towards that call to action. People aren't able to even know who you are.
Right.
So I would have, now the things that I know about search engine optimization, how to title your videos, and it's not difficult. Sometimes people could get bogged down in like, oh, I got to do this keyword research and that sounds boring, and data and analytics. And it's not. There's just tools where you type it in and bloop, you can find hundreds of titles within minutes.
Okay. So the step number one would be finding the right titles, thinking in a way like, okay, what would people be searching for, and create content for that, right?
And then once you have that title, obviously the script for how you're presenting that video. So sometimes I would just turn on the camera and ramble, like whatever I knew about that topic. And then editing it is just such a pain because you've rambled. Like, how are you supposed to make sense of that? So then editing would take forever too. Now what we do is we have like a whole scripting formula of how to hook people in right from the beginning. Like, imagine when you're watching a TV show and like right before it goes to commercial break, there's that like cliffhanger that you're like, oh, I got to know what happens. You do the same thing in your YouTube videos that people want to keep watching, even if it's like a 10, 15, 20-minute video. And then lastly, just knowing how to be able to promote that content that your audience can see it as well.
What did you mean with the last point, knowing how to promote? What exactly would that look? How would that?
Well, with search engine optimization, people can find your videos organically, but you also have an existing audience that these videos you can repurpose and use them for all your other social media. You can put it on blogs, emails, LinkedIn articles. You can cut into little mini videos or Instagram stories, like for all other platforms.
Okay. Yeah. Understand. Yeah. Awesome. So if you would start creating your YouTube videos, I think often people wonder, okay, because like on Instagram and on Facebook, often it's like, post 4 times a day. So what would YouTube content strategy look like, as in the frequency or how often to create videos for?
I recommend that people start with one until you get the process down of like 1 a week. It's quality over quantity. However, the more consistent content you can put out on YouTube, we're actually putting out 5 days a week of YouTube content, and we get the fastest growth that way, especially because you're building a relationship with the algorithm. But that does take a lot of, time investment, and I don't want you to put out a big quantity and not have good quality, because people aren't going to watch that either. So what I do recommend is like get started with 1 video a week until you have the format down of like scripting and even just your workflows. If you have a video editor, or if you're doing it yourself, to scale, you might need to have a team to be able to support you with that. But yeah, if you can do the more videos, the better, but while maintaining the quality.
Okay. Very, very good. So if you are now putting in, let's say 1 per week. Okay, let's put in 1 per week, and I'm finding the right keywords, titles that people are actually searching for. How can is there a way, besides maybe if I don't have a list, is there a way to give it a push? Let's put it that way. Like, are there things I can do to get the ball rolling, to get more engagement, or is it pretty much just relying on people searching that term and hoping that they will search and find it, or are there ways to get attention?
The thing with using search engine optimized titles is it's going to build momentum. And even if that search term, say if you make a video and with the keyword research that we do with these softwares that we use, we can see that even maybe 100 people a month search for this video. But what does that build into over years? Like 100 people a month, that's still 1,200 views a year. That's still 2,400 views in 2 years. Like it still builds.
Yeah.
And then people are still going to your list. So I would focus more on that. But then, of course, we repurpose and post to our other social media platforms to move our existing audience over there. But if you don't have that existing audience, then even being engaging on the YouTube platform, like commenting on other people's videos and posting in your community tab, doing Instagram lives, like that can also help to build you an audience.
Okay. So I think also a question people, especially starting out, is like, okay, what should I make content about? People might often have the fear of giving away too many information and then nobody really wants to buy the next thing or whatever. So how do you advise your clients to find the right kind of content that should be created, and maybe get new ideas and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. First of all, like, what is your topic of expertise? Like there's probably tons of like just different branches that you could be speaking about there. Or if you think like 6 degrees of separation of your content, if I'm speaking about marketing and entrepreneurship, I can also speak about maybe habits of marketers, habits of entrepreneurs. I can speak about different social media strategies, different marketing strategies, paid, organic, like there's endless ideas. But then there's also these tools that you can use that you can just search and see what exactly are people searching for and use those exact terms as your video titles.
Okay. So number one would be just branching off into all these different subtopics that my expertise involves, or product or service, whatever it is for the client. And number two, again, using keyword search tools that kind of give me the idea of what is being looked for. Okay.
Yeah.
So what would you say for YouTube is a good strategy to kind of have it as a next step? What have you seen is like, yeah, a good, you were saying call to action, always think of putting in a call to action. What would you say for YouTube video is a very good use type of call to action to have that being the next step? Yeah.
Typically something that's free. You want to build a relationship with your audience. And I speak about like dating your audience before you go in for the proposal or before you go in for the kiss. Like they need to feel like they can know, like, and trust you. And if you go straight from a video that maybe they found organically on YouTube to saying, hey, pay me thousands of dollars, they're like, whoa, I don't even know who you are, what you do, how you can help me.
Right.
So ideally you want the YouTube video to go to something that's free, something that maybe it's like an ebook or a webinar or a video series or a checklist or something that's going to provide them value, so that they think, this person knows what they're talking about. They can help me. And then from continued nurturing, whether it's more videos on YouTube or now they're on your email list, that can lead them towards a sale.
Okay. Very good. So taking a call to action for something free to build up the relationship and then kind of lead them down that path. What has been a recent, let's say, viral video of yours of one of your clients, and why do you think that it went viral? Is there like a success formula for creating viral content?
Well, there's a difference between viral and just successful. Like viral can be seen by hundreds, thousands, millions of people. So I wouldn't even say that I've had a viral video, because I think viral means like the reach. But our videos are created for longevity. And sometimes that means the long game. Like my Canva video that has over 500,000 views, like I didn't create that to go viral. I created that to help people build an audience and generate leads. So I don't know if I can necessarily answer that question, because I can't say that I've had videos go viral. But
more like videos that just have a longevity and just having, over the time, a lot of views. Okay, very good. So you laid out like a step-by-step way that we can follow, that we can get started, what we can do to create a YouTube channel, the content, what the next step could be. What do you see is a mistake or something that people often just make, or maybe a problem they should avoid getting into the strategies? What is like a common mistake you see people make that we can kind of like save them from?